Hi there, I'm Dr. Christine Anderson, and I am a chiropractor who specializes in pregnancy and pediatrics in Los Angeles. And I come on every Tuesday night and talk about, you name it, so many different things having to do with health and children and the nervous system and the brain. And I had a request from one of my patients who she had come in when she was pregnant, and then she had her little baby. And she said to me, Dr. Chris, okay, I've gotten rid of all the contraptions in my house because I'm not a fan of contraptions for the most part. Um, and she said, what can I do to help entertain my baby? Because I don't know what to do. So this is for her and for anyone else out there who has a baby about 0 to 6 months old and you are wondering, what can I do with them? That doesn't involve putting them in a jumper or a saucer or some other contraption where they can be entertained, but at the same time, it will be furthering their development of their brain and their nervous system. So let's jump right in. And these things also are great ideas for gifts around the holiday, or if you have someone who's going to have a baby, these can also be great shower gift ideas. So here we go. So 7 ideas. Originally, I had more and I kind of condensed them down. And some of them require investment in a product. Others, I will talk about some things you can DIY. And then down at the bottom there, you see the last two really don't have to involve much of any additional items. So number one being play gyms, I'm going to talk about that. Number two being activity play mats and pads, things that you can put your baby down on because this is really where they should be spending most of their time. Number three, sensory toys. Number four, water play. It's a little subset of sensory aspect. Number five is books. Number six, nature. And number seven, you, meaning you are going to be your baby's favorite way of entertainment. They love, love people's faces and expressions and the movement that you are going to be doing with them, and just the connection and the emotional support of spending that time with your baby. That is probably going to be their favorite way to be entertained, and it is so good for them in so many ways. So as much time as you can be with your baby, interacting with them, great. But I do recognize I am a mom of 3 children. They aren't babies anymore, but they were. And I worked and I had to do things around the house. And I know that it is hard to fit everything in and that you need some time where you're going to have to put your baby down and hopefully they can entertain themselves. Now, my daughter was really so good at it. She could be right near me on the floor being entertained. She was really good at entertaining herself. My 2 boys, not so much. But anyway, a number 6 nature, that's another aspect that you can take some of these things outside, and just being outside on the ground is so good for their nervous system, their health, because they're going to be grounding and getting that really good energy from the earth and being under trees. So nature is so great, just having them be outside and looking around, even just laying down at a mat and looking up at the clouds and looking up at the trees and the animals moving around, going for a walk and having them just be out in nature is just so great for them. It's great for you. But we will spend most of the time on the first 5. So without further ado, actually, before I go ahead into the PLAYGYMS, I want to just say a little bit about what went into this presentation. So at first I thought I was just going to be, mentioning these things and talking a little bit about it. But I started researching, as I do, going down the rabbit hole about what are the things that are out there today, since it's been a minute since I've had very young babies, and just to see what, number one, the quality of these items, the safety of the items, the durability, the non-toxic aspect of them as much as possible, and also how much use you can get out of them. In other words, if they can last a long time versus just a very short period of time, or be used for multiple things. So you get the best sort of bang for your buck, right? So the problem is that around 85% of the toys sold in the US are imported from China. That is a lot. That's a lot of toys. And not to say that you can't get good quality toys out of China, but you're going to have to really sort through them. So I just want to say I have done a lot of research on this. I've gone down the rabbit hole of looking at these items that I'm mentioning to you. And because of that, I am going to put links in the description. They are affiliate links because I thought, well, if you're going to try and get a similar toy, it might not be the same or the same quality. So I just want to let you know that because China does not have very strict regulations. Oftentimes there are toxic chemicals involved that are sometimes banned in Europe and Canada, or we might not use them in the US. So if you're going into a regular toy store and you haven't done your homework, you don't know what you're bringing home. And I feel with young children at this age, they're putting a lot of things in their mouth. So this is the time it's super important that you're not getting things that they're going to be sucking those toxic chemicals into their system. Not to say that it's a fail-safe. Anytime you buy an Amazon, sometimes there's counterfeits. You don't know if you're getting the real thing. So if you want to really know that you're actually getting that product, sometimes it does pay to shop at the actual store that you want to buy a product from rather than buying it on Amazon. So there's that caveat too. So I've done a lot of the vetting for you. So I hope you enjoy what I've come up with. And I've tried to be very selective. So the number one thing for this age group, 0 to 6 months, is getting some sort of play gym. So super important because babies should be spending the majority of their time laying down either on their back or their tummy. Now age 0 to 3, when they 3 months, when they do tummy time, usually it's on mom or dad's tummy so that they can have a little space for their head. Once they have better head control at about 3 months, down on the floor they can go. And they can start off on their back or start off on their tummy. And so you want to have a variety of things for them to look at in all directions so that what's going to happen is they're going to see something or they're going to touch something and their attention is going to be turned that way. And then the primitive reflexes will kick in and say, they turn their head, the reflexes will kick in, and then boom, they're over on their belly. And it's like, oh, the brain goes, that's what we need to do to be able to turn over. So if they are put into some sort of contraption, a swing or a bouncy chair or a jumper or a saucer, they will not be able to do the things that they need to do to develop their milestones that are crucial at this stage of the game. So my number one pick for the PLAYGYMS is the Play Gym from Love Every. Now at $140, it's the most pricey, but I will say that's still not too bad for something that you should get a lot of wear out of. And I put the bottom picture in there to show the older child where now this is a little tent and they can still play on it. And multifunctional. So it really should give you at least a year of play, and it's got 5 different developmental zones that can be concealed or revealed at your will. So there's, it can be in stages that you reveal these things. So it's new for the baby. It's like, oh, what is that? This is a product that was designed by child development experts who have researched about the best stages for the gym for brain development. So this is they put some thought into this, and it's got things where you can see the baby at the top. They can turn their head and look at some high contrast shapes, and then when they're on their belly, there's some things to play with, as well as the overhead pieces. So a really great play gym. It's made out of wood, but it's nice and sturdy. This is another aspect. When I was looking at these play gyms, you start looking at the reviews, and when you see the gyms are falling on top of the babies, that's not really what you want to see. So my next pick is the Hello Pumpkin Activity Center at $60. So this is a little less expensive, but it is something that is made out of untreated beechwood and cotton hanging toys, handcrafted by skilled artisans, high quality beechwood, 100% non-toxic cotton. And again, it was developed by people who understand child development in accordance to the Montessori educational method, if you're familiar with that, which is based on self-directed activity, hands-on learning, and collaborative play. So these play gyms are great for the tracking. They start to be good for hand-eye coordination, learning about movement and colors and reaction. So if you do one thing, what happens when you react to it, and different textures and that type of thing. So those are my 2 favorite play gyms. There are so many other ones out there, but I'll put links to these 2 in the description. Now, I came across a really great idea. I just thought it was fabulous, this rainbow ribbons idea. So you get colorful ribbons, you tie them at the top of the play gym, and then have your baby underneath, and they can kick at them and pull on them and have that sensory experience of the ribbons being underneath them. And I thought that was a really, really creative idea. So number 1, play gyms. Number 2 would be some sort of activity play mat. Now, your play gym, like I said, may have a play mat under it. Great. Or you can get some other mats that are either larger ones like the Aiden and Anise play mat for $99, or smaller that you could put on top of a play mat that you already have, which is the We Gallery Organic Activity Pad for $39. And like I said, I will put links to these in the description. But these are things, again, that are going to entertain your baby when they are on tummy time. You need something for them to look at. So these are, the We Gallery is made in India from organic cotton canvas, and there's toys on there made from responsibly sourced maple wood, a teething ring, because remember, your baby is going to be putting their face on it, or they may be sucking on something, they may be chewing on something. So you do want a good quality type of product for them to be laying on. Now, they also, the Aiden and Anise Baby Bonding Play Mat is a bit bigger, and it is a reversible cotton muslin mat. It's foldable. It's got sensory little things on there. There's a little mirror, of course, child-safe mirror, and things that they can pull on. So there's some activities for them to do. You can, again, look for more things like this, but just make sure that it is good quality, and anything on there is not going to be able to be pulled off, any choking hazards, and nothing toxic. Now, I also put two different types of children's mats. So let's just say you have a hard floor and you don't want your baby on the hard floor, and you want to put something soft underneath it. And I spent a lot of time looking at different types of mats you can put under or just have them end up sort of being on top of. They're washable and you don't necessarily have to put anything on them, but a good place to lay them down and have them play. And that will continue on. You can use these even as they get older to be able to play on the floor. So the number one is the Puratex Eco Mat. It is pricey at $200. It's not 200 pounds like it says there, $200. And it's non-toxic. It is a bio PU fabric that's enhanced with extracts from plant origin of corn and castor oil plant. It's eco-friendly, hypoallergenic, and so it won't be irritating your baby's skin. And it's acquired the United States of Agriculture certified eco-friendly product label featuring world-class bio-based materials. So it's free of PVC, free of BPA, EVA, formaldehyde, formamide, phthalates, and other toxins. There's no chemical glues. It's safe and extra thick foam. It's waterproof and easy to clean. And it's a puzzle mat, so the mat tiles are easily assembled with Velcro on all the edges so that you can configure it into whatever shape that you desire with it. So that is number one, but if that's a little too pricey for you, there is also the Toddleroo by North States. It's $55, and it is a steady play mat that they can play on. Now, another thing that I tried to find were water mats. This is a toy that my daughter enjoyed when she was a baby, when she was on tummy time. But first of all, I know a lot more than I did then. I was a, I was a newbie at all of this about toxicity, etc. And all of the water mats I could find were made out of PVC. So that's polyvinyl chloride. And, I'm just not so happy with that, especially recommending it. So I'm going to keep looking, and when I find something, I will put it in the description and or I'll do a little video and let you know. But in lieu of that, let me go into this next slide. You could make your own DIY play mat, which includes a type of, you could do a water mat where you put water in a bag and seal it up, and you can put little items in there that would kind of float in the water. Or you can do oil and water and make a little lava lamp type of thing. Now, you definitely want to use BPA, good quality, thick Ziploc bags that don't have BPA. There's still going to be other chemicals in there. If you're using plastic, there's chemicals. But in this case, I feel like if it's entertaining your baby and they're a little bit older, maybe towards the 5 or 6 months, and they're just patting the play mat and they're not tending to put anything in their mouth, you can wash their hands after. And it's a good sort of concession to trying to find things that are really sensory and fun and keeping them entertained while on their belly. So basically what you do is you put a variety of items into these bags. Don't fill it up too much. Don't use any more than 3 cups of filler. You would seal it up. If you've got liquid in there, I would double tape it, maybe with some duct tape. And then so that they're not moving the bags around too much, you can use painter's tape and tape it to a board or a floor if you've got wood, so it'll come up easily. And as you can see, the little baby there, I believe that's one of the panels with shaving cream in there. So if you color the shaving cream, they can mess around with that. And as they get older, they can even draw designs. And older kids love this too. So if you've got kids in the family that are younger, so you've got your 6 month or younger, and then maybe you have an older sibling, I bet they would have fun with this too. So, and the older sibling could even help you fill the bags and decide what goes in there. So this is a great DIY option for a type of entertainment on the floor. All right, sensory toys. So you can't go wrong with sensory toys. Babies are built to have constant sensory input, like things that would drive us crazy, they love, as you can tell. I'm not fond of those electronic toys that make noise and light, except in very small instances if you have to use it in an emergency where you need to get something done, or maybe you're in the car and they're not happy in the car, and like you pull it out at the last instance. And these are the toys I keep in reserve in my office. They're not out on a regular basis because I don't want to listen to them all day. But if I have a really cranky baby that needs to be entertained, I can deal with it for a short period of time. Again, I'm trying to find things that are not made out of plastics as much as possible, that are durable, non-toxic. And so I've got a couple of different things here. They're from the Love Every, remember that play gym? Well, they've got play kits for each developmental period. And so you would be able to get them every 2 months, I believe, 2 or 3 months, and they've got different kits depending on how old the baby is. So this is the sensor play kit that I have here for age 5 to 6 months. And so there's a spinning rainbow that helps with gross motor skills, reaching with both hands. There's a magic tissue box with linkable magic tissues, and the organic cotton rainbow ball, Parts of Me book, playful socks that you can put on their feet, tummy time wobbler, so they can knock that over and it comes back up. And the great thing about this kit is that it also comes with ideas on how to play with your baby during that period of time. So for this 5 to 6 months, it gives you some more ideas for interacting with your baby. Super great idea. And these kits are $80, so every 2 months. So if you consider that's $40 every month, and things that are going to help with your baby's development, you may think that that is worth it. Then we've got the Haba wooden egg rattles, and these are $34 for 5 rattles. So these are made of beech wood from sustainable forestry in Germany using 100% non-toxic stains. And each egg makes a different sound. So 4 eggs shake, there's 2 rattles, 1 chirp and 1 jingle, and the light blue egg twists to make a clicking noise. So these are super cute, and again, I think they are things that will last beyond the 6 months, that your baby will have fun playing with. The other great thing is that the sound in these is not super loud. It's intentionally soft, so that it's not super crazy loud. And then as far as sensory things for putting in your mouth, we've got the mushy silicone baby teether ball for $12. It's in natural colors. It's made from 100% non-toxic food-grade silicone, and easy for the baby to grasp and hold and pass from hand to hand. So that side-to-side coordination and hand-to-mouth coordination as they put it in their mouth. And silicone is BPA and phthalate free. So I feel like silicone is a good choice in many instances, but you want to make sure it's food grade because, again, all silicone is not made equally. So speaking of silicone, we have the Hitomi Baby Soft Nestling Sorting Stacking Toys. So those little teething shapes there, there's 4 of them down there in a puzzle. And so again, these are non-toxic silicone, BPA and phthalate free. And it's a very small set, so designed for small hands, and great for teething, and then as the baby gets a little older, for sorting and putting in for puzzle shapes. So great for that skill, again, hand-eye coordination and pattern recognition. A good old favorite is the Squish Rattle. That's $15, and this is made by the Manhattan Toy Company, which is a trusted source for imaginative toys for babies and children of all ages. They are rigorously safety tested, and if there's any issue, you can call their 800 number, so great customer service. And this has got little balls on it, so there's a rattle aspect to it for the sensory. They can squish it so it changes shape as they touch it, so that's a reaction aspect to it. They can teethe on it. It's wooden, so there's baby safe water-based acrylics on there that remain hardened, so when they chew on it, you know they're not getting any toxic paint into their system. Super important. And in that same category from Manhattan Toy, you've got the Wooz It. This is the 3-inch one. There's also a 6-inch one. So for smaller hands, this might be a better size, and it's also more portable. And you can stick that on their stroller or anything like that. And then we've got the Wooden Bell, which is a rattle, and this is made in Vermont by a family-owned company. Again, great quality and great finish on it, and your baby can teethe on it without getting any toxic chemicals, and it's got that sensory aspect to it. And then you can play little games even with rolling it. I really like this Wooden Bell rattle. And then for tummy time, a mirror. This particular one is Dr. Rapetti Tummy Time, but I've got a couple other that I saw. And I've got other toys too that I would recommend that aren't on here, but I will put everything in the description so that you can link right to it. I've done all the work for you. So really, really great things, because babies love looking at faces. They love looking at their face. And at some point, they will recognize that it is not another baby in the mirror, but at 6 months, they still think that's another baby. And it is super cute to watch them looking in mirrors. Okay, water play. So with the water play aspect, a great thing that you can do is just get a baking pan that's not too deep, because your baby is not going to be too, right? When they start playing in the water here like this, they'll be more like 5, maybe 6 months. But you want it shallow enough so that they can get their hands in the water, but not so shallow that everything kind of spills out. And then in the pan, put a little bit of water, and then you can put some toys in there. Now, the picture with the baby that you see with the balls, I'm not sure what those balls are made out of. They look like plastic to me. But I thought a better option would be up there at the right where you see the silicone ball and teether set. Actually, they say that cactus teether is also, it's got little bristles on there for brushing the gums. And these are made out of silicone. So it's food grade silicone, and I thought that ball would be super cute that they could play with in the water. And all of these things here that you see as they get older, then they can just go in the bath with them. So it really becomes something that's transportable as they get older and older. And then these, the rubber duck and the spouting whale are both made by the same company. out of pure natural rubber. So pure rubber, it's not plastic, they're hand painted. Um, the rubber is derived from the tree Havia brasiliensis. Oh boy, it's non-toxic, plastic-free, PVC-free, BPA-free, and completely compostable. So the duck is made in one piece without holes or squeakers. And the idea is that if there's no holes, no mold can get in there. Now, I will say some of the reviews said because there's no hole, the duck sometimes like to roll onto its side. So, oh well, what can you say? But there is the duck comes in other colors too. The whale I thought was really cute, and it's made in two pieces so you can open it up and dry it out, but you're also able to fill it with water, and then water goes out the spout. So it's just like a real whale. How cool is that? And then the blue whale at the bottom is a pure natural rubber baby bath toy without holes. It's made out of rubber, and again, that is supposedly so that no water can get inside and no mold can occur. So you can put other things into the tray for water play. I just was trying to find things that were not plastic and would be fun. All right, my favorite, number 5, books. So even if your baby is just straight out of the womb, I started reading to my kids super early. I would just put them sitting on my chest, put the book out, and start reading. But as they get a little bit older and they're going to want to be entertained, you want to have books that are going to be very durable for them. And you also want books that are going to, if they put it in their mouth, be non-toxic, and also stimulating for the sensory aspect of their development. So I've got 4 different ones here, but I have a whole bunch more I will put in the description because this is my favorite, and you can never have too many books in your house. They have found that kids with more books just tend to be better readers and tend to be better at school in general. And so you can just never have too many books. All right, so the visual quiet book, it's, I don't know why they call it quiet because it is got some crinkle cloth in there, which is not quiet. It's the opposite of quiet. But it is, first it's got the high contrast black and white for the younger baby. And then as the child gets a little bit older, it's got those pops of color in it, which is really great for their sensory stimulation. So there's a mirror in it, there's things to lift and flip, there's textures, and so this is something that your baby should really love to look at. Then on the bottom left from We Gallery, they have a lot of books that I really like for babies. And this is a sensory-rich cloth book. It's machine washable, which is really important too, that you can just throw these things in the washer. The Color Me, Who's in the Water, there's a whole series of these books by We Gallery. And when the book gets wet, so there are basic black and white shapes on there, and when the book gets wet, then they get filled in with a little bit of color. So this is another book that can be used maybe for the water play or in the bath. Super fun. On the top left, we have a baby sitting there. Obviously, they're a little bit older because they're sitting up, so maybe 6 months. And that is a Sassy Peekaboo book with attachable ring. It's $9. And it's got the high contrast black and white with some pops of red, as you can see there. So great for both early in this period and later on. All right, so that concludes my section on 0 to 6 months and ways to entertain them and some gifts you can give. You can find me at losangeles-chiropractor.com, and I have been helping families grow up healthy since 1990, starting with prenatal care, but for sure newborn wellness checkups, And then if babies have any issues with breastfeeding or colic and reflux, sleep problems, rashes and skin issues, whatever, I've been able to help. And then I'm also looking at primitive reflexes and milestone development and neurologic development in that first year of life, which is crucial to their brain development. And you can go back to my videos and watch all about primitive reflexes and milestone development. And I'll just pop those links in there if you want to take a quick look at them. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I do new shows every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, so you can watch live or catch the replay anytime. And if you have any suggestions of things that you would like to see me talk about, just let me know. All right, have a great week, and I will see you next time.